various freedoms are protected by the First Amendment, and there are some ideas that are protected by this, and there are some people that are protected by this. So the idea of the First Amendment relates to other languages by protecting freedom of press, by protecting freedom of assembly, and the right to redress of grievances. So freedom of thought and belief is considered to be implicit, and as well as the idea of freedom not to speak freely, and the right to listen and receive information. Another one would be the freedom of association, which is an expansion, an extension of um, freedom of assembly. Another one would that also can apply to all these would be the idea of academic freedom, the idea of freedom with freedom of the right to learn, the right to consume um, consume learning, the right to pick a school, to learn a specific uh, way of life. That's another way. That's another thing that can apply as a benefit to all this. The idea of the First Amendment can benefit certain people, such as, for example, corporations. That's one uh, thing that definitely um, can benefit from being protected by the First Amendment. And another one that also sort of applies to this is minors. Minors is another sort of subsection that is um, also protected by the First Amendment. That is something that's also sort of protected. Um, and this is where it gets a little bit more complicated with the idea of immigrants. So legal immigrants, they do get protected by this, but there is a catch. They cannot donate to any political campaign or any political party. They can't donate to any political aspects whatsoever. But when it comes to illegal immigrants, that's where it gets a little bit tricky because some there are some exceptions to that. There are some exceptions to illegal immigrants getting First Amendment rights, but then again, there are some exceptions where they don't get First Amendment rights. So there is a mixture there. There is a sort of a how do, there is a little bit of a variation towards it, depending on what state or what specific part of America, you know, this specific situation arrives in. Um, but mostly it is a varying situation that doesn't really that's not really consistent. So, in conclusion, there are some people that have the right to express themselves via the press, via assembly. Um, no matter who tries to express themselves, they can all rely on the First Amendment, um, whether that be minors, whether that be um, corporations, or whether that be legal immigrants. Um, but with illegal immigrants, that's where it gets a little bit complicated and a little bit more odd, can I say? Um, and again, lawful legal immigrants cannot. The only thing about legal immigrants is that they cannot donate to a political campaign or political party. As for legal immigrants, again, it varies. So.